Okay. Um, hmm. Um, Sorry, I should have probably came up with an idea um the for this live stream today, but I didn't. I just figured I would figure something out right on the spot. Um, well, let's I guess begin with introductions, maybe. I am Chibi Chisei, and yes, it's not cheese. No matter how much you want to pronounce it like American spelling, it's actually Japanese. So it's Chisei. And I'm an anime fan. I'm a cosplay fan. I want to learn how to sew my own cosplays. I'm learning how to make my own jewelry, which I figured would be another little thing to add on to help create cosplays for myself. Less things I have to buy because I can create them. Um, Pretty much, I can say I am a newbie because obviously nobody has ever heard of me other than when they talk about me. It's I want to say it's because people think I trash talk them and whatnot on here, but in reality, I don't really care about rivalries. I don't care about some of the crap that's going on between communities right now that everybody keeps claiming that I'm sucking up to somebody, and that's not exactly the topic I want to bring on to here, but it's something true about myself. And it might be how some of anybody who might come in here and watch the stream or talk with me or whatever is probably going to want to know. People are curious. They want to see what your thoughts and how you arrived at those thoughts came about. And, well, I don't care about the fight between them. I don't see why they should be fighting. I'm pretty sure at the time, whatever it was that divided them was initially something really awful. And yeah, I can understand somebody having a problem with that. But hey, drama, don't need it, don't want it. I don't talk shit on people. I don't like to talk shit on people because I know what it's like. I have too much grown up shit to do, so not one of those communities. This community is going to be based on likes, similarities, normal stuff. I don't have a specific content that I would like to talk about or anything. I'm just winging it for right now. Yes, I'm winging it. I don't have a plan. My plan originally was to create a page for motivation and inspiration, but the problem with that, not everybody can agree on that. There are some things that work for others that don't for everyone else. And I don't want to throw that into people's faces and make them feel uncomfortable. I don't want to bring religion into it or politics into it because let's face it, that stuff just causes more problems. It doesn't create communities that want to stick together, learn to get together, and learn how to create something new and exciting. That just does not help. And I want to be one of those content creators once I get off on my feet and actually have some content to really contribute with, you know, I just want something that people will like, something people will want to continue joining in on, something exciting, something that, like I originally said, brings people together. Um, I know that's not I know that's naive to think, but the more I can limit it to something positive and something that brings people together rather than divides them, I think that would be a lot better. I think that would be something worth trying. So here I am. I'm a new content creator with no specific content. I just want to make friends. I want to have fun. I want to encourage people to have fun. I just I want to be one of those that creates a safe space, creates a fun environment. I want to create something positive, something meaningful, something that can, well, I can't say change people's minds because obviously you can't change people's minds. People are going to think what they want to think. And I don't want to force people to think like me. I don't want them to think like something else. I want them to enjoy their time here. I want to be that newbie that inspires, well, there's that word again, inspires, but it's not really like, oh, well, if you pray to God for this and that, you will get this. No, not that kind of inspiration. It's the inspiration that makes people see how much fun this is and join in. I want something people can enjoy and join in and have fun. That's the kind of content I want to create here. I am open to ideas, suggestions, topics that interest some people, and if it's not something that conflicts with something somebody else thinks on or anything, I could try it. I'll try it. I want I want people, like I said, to have fun, regardless of what the topic may be. We could do a topic on like cosplay. We could do a topic like um 90s TV, like sitcoms. We could do anime. We could do cartoons. I mean, there's just an abundance of stuff out there in the world. Different cultures, different places, different foods for people to try. I mean, the possibilities are endless on what I could possibly bring to the table. And if it's something positive and resonates well with everyone, that's what I want to do. I want I want you all to enjoy this. I don't want you all to find a reason to fight with somebody because they don't share your idea of fun or something. I just I want to create content that somebody will enjoy. I just want fun. I want to make friends. I want to share what I know. I want people to share what they know. I want to learn from others. I want to open up possibilities for creating conversations that include everybody without drama, problems, fighting. I know this seems kind of naive, but I think it could happen. I really think this could happen. Hey, Kratos. Nice to see you, hon. Don't mind me. I'm just babbling, trying to come up with some content. Don't really have anything yet. I just I want to create something people will join in and have fun. You know, I don't want communities fighting. I just want a fun, safe place. And I know I'm not exactly perfect. I'm not. I am not perfect. I will be the first to admit that. I have done some stupid things. I have done some really asininely stupid things, and I've done some really terrible things. Aw, I'm sorry you had a long day, hun. I'm sorry I'm not I'm sorry I don't have anything really too exciting to kind of pop up on screen with or anything. But yeah, this is kind of my idea of stuff for content. Nothing in particular, no religion, no politics, something that interests people that might pique others' interest up or something. It's hard to come up with content after seeing some other people's streams and whatnot, and I want to contribute something fun. I know I keep repeating that over and over again, but it's literally the only thing I have an idea of. So I'm just kind of popping out something right now just to kind of show that I am still active from my other one. Um, it's just that I'm trying to figure out stuff that everybody could try out, join, you know. I'm trying my hardest not to copy anything off of anybody else, especially Carrie, because I know she goes really hard into planning for stuff. And I know those that do certain content like let's just say not another reaction content. I don't think I have the heart or stomach for that. I just can't. No, no, I just can't. Um, like, if you have any ideas of something that's interesting or fun to you, you can suggest, and I could try to do something on that. Right now, it's just winging it. So, if you have any ideas, don't be afraid to say something. And I mean, and obviously, I'm not gonna take off overnight, so I know not to expect a whole lot right now. I know probably not more than a few views for this video, which is okay. I know. Like it's like streaming on Twitch, like doing TikTok. Content brings people in. But unfortunately, I'm gonna give options. Carrie gives options, and I like her options. She has the police videos that she'll pop in with, and I will admit I used to watch a ton of those before she started putting them up, so that was something fun for me. I didn't care that the others would criticize her for that because it was something fun, something I enjoyed, and it was nice to see somebody that actually enjoyed the same thing. So I know she puts in a lot of different content planning in, so you know, and I know TJ admits that he doesn't put a whole lot of thought into his stuff, but I'm pretty sure that's mostly because he's been streaming for quite some time and he just knows how to wing it and be on point and everything. Polished, pops, you know. Makes sense. It's been everything. Funny junk is that like a stream of uh shit what do they call them on Facebook? Uh, threads, something like that. Because I've seen stuff like that in different formats like Facebook, unfortunately. Um, are you able to hear me okay? I'm not sure if I need to adjust anything. I know I got some fans blowing around, and I'm not sure if that's actually hitting the mic or not. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm not blowing people's ears out with loud fans on the mic. Um, the cats are asleep, so oh, I'll have to check that out because that actually sounds really cool. I like random funny videos. It doesn't take much to really entertain me. Just real simple things. I'm growing up Roman Catholic. Your grandparents were kind of strict, and didn't like what your parents let you get away with. Called you a smart mouth and shit, and eh. Their place is the only place I ended up finding out about cable TV. So that was what grandma's house was good for. Just kidding. No, I really loved my grandparents. Um, they just were really, how do I word this? Um, Traditional Roman Catholic Polish, I guess is the best way to explain that. So it's kind of almost as bad as Roman Catholic because blah 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 blah. And yes, I can say that I have some Russian in me. It's on my mom's side, on my Busha side. Oh crap, Polish, Polish. Yep. Unlike some people on here, I know there's lots of stuff going about. People saying that they're this or that. I have Ancestry.com. Ancestry.com for all of the different things my mutt self is made of. One side of the family is completely European, and the other, hmm. Oh crap! I guess I'm gonna have to look that up because they did label some. Oh no, that would happen. Never mind. That's the email I can't get into right now because I can't remember the password, and I gotta get with frickin' AT&T because it's an old AT&T email. Arnold's Pizza Shop. That sounds interesting. Normally, when it's a pizza shop or a specific kind of shop, you wonder what kind of people come in, and kind of like when you go to the barber or something, you wonder what kind of crowds of people you're gonna get, and you end up getting some really rowdy people. So I'm thinking that's probably one of those, which actually makes it sound even better and more exciting and funny. Hmm. Well, if I can't get into that, which emails hook up to the first account that I messed up, so I can't really go into that. Especially since the DNA one was held up, attached to the email that's on that account. Damn. Wait a minute. I think I can actually get around that. Google Drive. Yes, I do. Wonderful. Awesome. Yep. Czech Republic, Slovakian, Poland, Lithuanian, Hungary and Romania, Western Ukraine, uh, German, Baltic, Norway, Ireland, Scotland, England, Wales and Western Europe, Sweden, Finland, Northwest Russia, Iberian Peninsula, Asia South. This now a lot of these are only a small percentage, which is to be expected with some places. So yeah, that's why they estimate it with a certain percentage, and then they list what is all listed in that particular region that you are supposedly from. which is like Slovenia, Hungary, Austria, Slovakia, Serbia, that kind of fun stuff, like different regions within there. Estonia? Never heard of that. Wait, no, these are all from 2019. Never mind. Oh, whoa. No, no, I take that back. 2022. Ireland and Scotland, England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Poland, and Lithuania. Yeah, Pomerania. Who in their right frickin' mind would name a country Pomerania? Is that where Pomeranians come from? No, I'm kidding. Um, actually, that might actually be something worth looking into. Dogs and how they got named a certain name. I mean, like the German Shepherd, German, Belgian Hound or something. I think they have a Belgian Shepherd as well. There's that. Hmm, yeah, that would be a nice thing to look into. I mean, they did a whole thing on Nova for PBS. Oh, I hope to God people know what PBS is because I don't feel like looking up what each individual thing says because I know it's public broadcasting. So, decoding dogs. That was an interesting little documentary video that they had done. So I'm wondering if taking that, discussing how they did their tests and what results they got from them, or how dogs became domesticated and actually evolved and became all these that we know of today. Like, how many different breeds are there and they're still making more breeds? Like, I had a rat terrier. I looked that up one time. Rat terriers have chihuahuas. I even found on the tree Dalmatian. I don't understand how a Dalmatian would be part of a rat terrier, but my rat terrier, I kind of looked at and I was like, yeah, she's got spots like a Dalmatian on her. I can kind of see that now. The new one that my mom has, Dudley, replaced Jasmine. He, I remember seeing some spots on his belly and a big spot on his back like Jasmine had. So I'm wondering if spots really did come from Dalmatians and that tree was actually 100% true. The problem with that is with a scientific mind, you have to stop. Think how they came to that, all the testing that they had done, all that fun jazz to arrive to that conclusion. But because it was found on the internet, yeah, because it was on the internet, I don't 100% feel confident saying that that is true. I can see it. I can see how they came to that conclusion. I mean, obviously I can see how they came into that conclusion. But whether or not it's true is kind of my, uh, I almost want to say it's like an OCD kind of thing, but it's not OCD. It's that constant strive to be accurate so that way you're not giving misinformation out to people. So that way they're not going out and saying, hey, this is what I heard. They repeat it. The person that they tell it to repeats it back to them as in like confirmation, like, oh yeah, yeah, really? Yeah, yeah. And then they find out, oh no, that wasn't true. Well, shit, what is true anymore? I probably shouldn't be swearing like that. Oh well, I did put age restriction on there, didn't I? Yeah, I think so. Play around with this later. I'm not too privy with all these buttons and everything. And since it's on a Chromebook laptop, I'm not very confident in its ability to work because Chromebooks don't use the other operating systems. It's kinda like Linux, and I haven't worked with Linux in years. We're talking back in grade school where they had you doing the computers with the floppy disks and everything. But yeah, going back to the dog thing, that might be something worth checking into. That might be a topic that I can check into, research, or do whatever and see if good old YouTube won't kick my butt for trying to share the video. That or I could get around it by popping it onto the community tab because I've been posting some songs and pictures on there that I like that kind of relates to myself, my personality, my likes, my dislikes, just to give a broad sense of the type of person I am versus what people perceive of me from first impressions. Um, so yeah, I think that might be something worth checking into that I can post. I'll have to take a look at terms of service again just to make sure. Um, hmm, do stuff like that. That's an idea. If only I could open up a window inside of this and give it a list that I can type up. God, I suck. I really suck. I think I did better streaming games on Twitch. Ugh, I suck. Well, that's something else I could probably put on here. The truth. I am boring. I am boring. I am crazy. Uh, kind of like a little bratty kid. Um, love cats, love dogs, love hamsters. Birds scare me. My Busha used to have a parakeet, and that bird, that bird hated people. Hated it. He would fly for everybody's hair to peck their heads and rip out their hair, or he would try flying around and landing in a spot he knew he couldn't reach and just sit there and wave his little tail at you and chirp at you like, ha ha, ha, can't get me. Oh yeah, Mr. Bird, do you want your treats? Do you want your food? Gonna have to come down sometime. Let's see. I want to like snakes because I kind of want a ball python, but I am terrified of snakes. Who knows? Usually fear is an indication of healthy because what do? When you get afraid, you run. When you run, what happens? You escape danger. Well, possible danger. And since there's lots of snakes out there that are venomous and can kill you, I would say that's a healthy fear. Run away from snakes. But those that are still small, because I think the ones they raise are Uh, Bred for um, pets. Yes, of course, for pets. Yeah, but I mean, like specifically created for that, so that way they don't get too big and they don't try to kill you in your sleep because it's still a python, a ball python. Pythons are constrictors. Do you want to get choked by a snake? No. There you go. And I'm all over the place. I am random. There we go. That's another clue. I am very random. I could just out of nowhere start screaming or crying or laughing or just whatever, just out of the blue. And then all of a sudden stop and just be like, hi. Ah, Jesus, this sucks. I knew I should have came up with something first. I just didn't know how to break the ice, so I kind of threw myself into the pool. Gotta sink or swim somehow. Can't do it just by sitting on the sidelines and watching the rest of your life. So, head first. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. Winging it, trying to think of stuff, trying to be sincere because, you know, nobody really wants to show their fears and show their weaknesses because what's a weakness? A chink in the armor. And what's a chink in the armor? Uh, let's say an early death. Yeah. Ugh, let's see. Random. I collect stuffed animals. Yes, I'm one of those. I still collect them. They are cute. I love them. They're great for cuddles when the husband is away on business trips. So, meh. Think of it as you wish. Stuffed animals. Or, like my friend and I like to call them, stuffies. I like my stuffies. And there's nothing in this world you can say to change that. I'm sorry, I'm putting my foot down on that one. Stuffies. Uh, Pretty much my entire life, I have been a cake decorator. Started out when I was little because a Polish tradition is that you get a cast iron cake mold in the shape of a lamb, and one of my great 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 grandmothers or something came up with a pound cake recipe that's been passed down to each. Um, like it went from one busha to the other busha to another busha, down to my busha, then down to my mom and her siblings. So that way it can be passed down from them to their kids, which is us, me. Then our kids, which, spoiler alert, I am infertile. I cannot have kids. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and basically what that says is poly, which is many, ovarian, which is none other than part of our genitals. Well, really the genitals is that just strictly for the outside. Reproductive system, let's go with that. A little more, what do we call it? Politically correct bullshit. I mean, full spit. Yeah, that's what I meant, full spit. Um, and then cystic, obviously for cysts, which are fluid-filled sacs, which I don't know if anybody's ever seen a cyst. There are, I'm pretty sure the cysts on the ovaries, I would have to double check this because it's been a while since I've read up on this, and Maybe now they might have some sort of medication list now that says what can treat it better other than birth control. But if I remember correctly, ovaries get the cysts that are fluid filled, and then there's another type of cyst, and I believe that one is the one that everybody's familiar with from Dr. Pimple Popper, which is the one that has dead skin cells and crap that collects inside, and if you don't remove the whole stack, it can grow back. Um, it's not fun stuff because they can rupture, and not every woman is the same, so not every woman bleeds when they feel a rupture, and it is the most one of I shouldn't say the most, I should say one of the most painful things a woman could ever feel because not only is it inside your body where you can't reach it, can't give it something to uh, release some of the pressure, release some of the pain, anything like that. So when it ruptures and it hurts. Sometimes I would be in the fetal position on my bed crying because that's the only thing I could do for the pain. It had to run its course because, again, nothing could really touch it. And the reason why they say birth control is the best way to treat it is because it controls all the hormones that are messed up when you have it. Um, you can get really bad anxiety, depression, just, I don't think it's strictly just mood disorders. I think there are other things that it can cause too, but the main problem is that it causes hormonal imbalance. And like any woman knows, if there is a hormone imbalance, what happens? Everything goes awry. You're crying for no reason. You're laughing for no reason. You don't understand why you're crying. You don't understand why you're laughing. It's enough to drive a person insane. And who knows? Maybe we are all just a little insane when it comes to PCOS or its longer version, polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's not a pleasant thing. Growing up with it wasn't fun. I didn't find out till I was 18 because my mom thought that I had it. She fought for years for my doctors to test me to see if I have it, test me to see what's wrong, test me to see why I'm always late, test me to see why I'm always longer than 7 days, 10 days, a month, twice in a month, 3 times in a month. It's not fun. It's really not fun. It hurts. It sucks. And it's just unbelievably annoying because you wish you could be just like everybody else. And because of that hormonal imbalance, and because you're growing cysts on your ovaries, when they rupture, it's causing scar tissue. And when it causes scar tissue, it creates a rough surface that eggs can't grow on or collect on or whatever they do inside the ovary. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. I cannot be 100% accurate with what goes on in the ovaries with PCOS. I just want to put that out there right now because I really don't know. And I don't want to give somebody the wrong information for somebody else who might have PCOS because I feel knowledge is power. I feel having the knowledge to understand something makes it easier to communicate and create therapies that work, like hormonal therapies like I do for people that are, oh, what's it called? Uh, Jesus, it's on the tip of my tongue. Ugh, menopause. And they're menopausal because there are people that go premenopausal, right? We're getting some of those now. So that being said, if you can do hormonal therapy with somebody that's on menopause, maybe we could do that for somebody that's on PCOS. Knowledge is power. That's why I'm saying stuff about myself so people can get to know me a little better because maybe this will help me be more comfortable with recording stuff. I mean, I know it's just a bunch of random stuff that I'm saying and speaking right now, but hopefully it gets me to where I want to be topic wise or content wise to share with people. Anyway, moving on. Surface is not smooth anymore because isn't the surface supposed to be smooth? Something like that. PCOS, when the cyst rupture kind of disrupts what the surface is like and everything. So, when you can't have eggs that form properly and can release properly, you can have a child, but I am infertile, like I said. With PCOS, you can become infertile, or it's just altogether almost darn near impossible to get pregnant. And it varies from woman to woman. So I know I shouldn't sit here and say all women are infertile and stuff like that. No, I'm not. It's I'm not saying that they are all infertile. I'm saying I'm infertile because I am different. I am not somebody else. I am not like the person next to me. They are not like me. So of course, we're not going to have the same results. We're not going to have the same thoughts, feelings, whatever when it happens. But it's enough to get out there and communicate that they're not alone, that they don't have to be afraid. They don't have to go without answers. Now that I think now they got some stuff out there now that they're gonna try treating for PCOS because not much is known about it. None. They're only just now starting to realize that birth control might actually help control it. Which, again, person to person case. Me, I had to go on the low dosages ones because regular birth control rose my blood pressure to stroke level. And another side effect of PCOS is weight gain and darn near impossible abilities to lose the weight. And that's what makes it all the much harder to go to these doctors and sit there and talk to them and say, hey, I don't know what I can do to change this, to make me feel more like an actual person rather than a body full of symptoms, you know? Back then when I was first 18, we're talking back in what, 1999? No, I take it back. That was 2004. It was 2004. I was 18. 2004, I graduated high school. So it was early 2000s that they still didn't know very much on. All they knew was birth control can help regulate it. So that way you could have your monthly friend. Uh, you try to make cute things for it. What? Maybe I should use doctor terms because isn't that something that we're supposed to be using now for TOS on YouTube? I have no idea. I, I guess until I know better what terms of service has spelled out for what we can and can't do, I probably should just refrain from correcting myself on stuff like that. But yeah, your friend that gets regulated, Momo, 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 what are you doing, baby? Leave Olive Card and Pounce's litter box alone, please. Thanks. Cats. Oh, please God, don't. No. Good boy, Olive Card. Good boy. You're being a good boy. I wish I had a dog. Cats are so unpredictable and I don't know what to look for half the time. Anyway, yeah, birth control. Um, and usually it's emotions that need regulating during that time. I mean, we get PMS and all that wonderful junk for being women, you know? And something else to kind of tie into this that might hit somebody that also has PCOS thinks if they themselves find out that they are infertile or just can't have a child, they I don't want to put words in other people's mouths, so I'm just gonna say what I felt. I felt like I wasn't a woman. I didn't feel very womanly when I was younger, and I'm pretty sure a lot of women can agree with this. When I was younger, I dreamed of having my own family. I dreamed of having a child. I didn't care, boy, girl, whatever, as long as they were healthy. I did not care. A child is a child. You love them. They're a part of you. That's it. That was all. For me, that was all. I know other people say how they prefer boy or girl or whatever. I just didn't care. I just wanted something that was healthy. I wanted my own family, and well, I guess technically I have them. I have them. I have two boy cats with two totally different personalities. I love them like they're my babies, like they're my children. I make sure Alucard gets his water and it's room temperature, not too cold, not too warm, because he won't get it because it's warm. And if it's too cold, it upsets his stomach. And Pounce, well, Pounce is Pounce. Pounce likes to hide, like he's doing right now, sleeping underneath the blanket. Like I said, two totally different personalities. One's outgoing, the other likes to hide. But uh, they're as close as I'm gonna get to having children, and I love them. They bring me joy. It's fun to play with them. It's pretty much just like having a child. Only difference is they can't talk to you in a way that you can understand half the time. I'm sorry, but meow 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 doesn't exactly equate to me. Mom, I want some food. Now when they sit there and just go and do a loud, continuous cry, okay, I know you're yelling at me. What do you want? You know, that's typically all that you get out of them. You don't actually have words, which sometimes would be nice, but right now I think it's the best time not to hear anything. Who knows? They might have something I don't want them to talk about, just like anybody else with an animal. Oh, if only they could talk. Good lord. All the crap people would have stolen. Ah, animals. So yeah, they're like children to me. So I I still feel like I'm not a woman. I mean, yeah, I have all feminine parts, but I don't have the one thing that I would have really loved to have had. I would have been perfectly happy with just one. I know that there's others out there that have many because they want many. Me, I know I'd go crazy after the second one. So for me, I would have loved to have had two at least, but I would have been perfectly happy with one. Just would have been a little miracle that I would have given extra love to. Just because if I was unable to and I miraculously had one, I'm sorry, I'm gonna treat it like the miracle that it is. So that's that's something I can't put in people's mouths because I don't know how they would feel. I don't know how they are getting past that. I just know myself and how I react to it. And that's what I feel like. I don't feel like a woman because I'm incapable of having a child. Something I see the rest of my family having. Even the ones that said they didn't get pregnant. So have that and just being here, all your friends talking about their children, it stings. Yes, it stings. Yeah, it kind of sucks. Yeah, it makes you doubt being a woman, if it's a true woman or just a skin suit with clothing on it that appears womanly. That's something I never really said out in the open. Only my therapist really knew that. But maybe I need to stop hiding behind medical professionals and be honest. It might help somebody else come forward and say, hey, I feel that way too. Thank you for saying it. Now I know I'm not alone. I never had that growing up. I never had anybody else that went through it too that could say, I understand that. This is how I went through it. This is what I wish somebody would have helped me with when I went through it. Let me help you. Let me speak with you a while. So that way you can see how I dealt with it, how I deal with it still, how I move around it every day, and what I do to get past that for at least a little while, you know, not having to worry about it. Yeah, well, not many people. Like I said, it's still not very well studied or understood. Another side effect that they have on there, you can get hair anywhere on your body that isn't normal. Let that sink in for a little bit. So, someone that doesn't feel like they're a real woman, because, like me, I don't feel like I'm a real woman because I can't do what I want. What I really want, I'm not able to, and I understand that. I understand that, and that's why I treat my cats like they're kids. That's why I reward them and train them too, because I'm sorry, but when I tell you to lay down, I tell you to lay down and just cuddle me. So when I tell my cat to lay down, they know that means, oh, she wants to lay down with me. She wants to lay down and cuddle. She wants to feel love. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want to feel loved. And that's what they do. They do it just like any human child. And I am grateful for that. That's how I'm this one. That's how I've learned how to adapt to it. Adapt. There we go. That's more of a that's a lot better to think. Adapt. So just like that, you get body hair more so than what you would typically think a female gets. Some I think I know of one other person right now. I didn't back then, but right now, I think that I know personally that I I think I'm not 100% certain. I think she has PCOS and she herself has hair in places where men, like facial hair, chest hair, belly hair, butt hair. I mean, whatever area you are not used to seeing hairy on a woman, that that is one of those spots. That is potentially a spot that has a lot more hair growth on than other places. So, what do you do for that? Well, you learn how to shave like a man. You learn how to shave like a man. And sometimes that's really embarrassing. Sometimes it really is. But you get past that. You start to learn how to deal with it. You shave it off. You bleach it because, like me, if you have very light skin because you don't go outside very often, you have light skin, and when you bleach something, your hair turns almost white-like, and you can't see it. Well, some people don't like doing that because bleach hurts. Bleach is a chemical. It removes color, pigment, you name it. It takes it out. So bleaching your hair might not be ideal. And you got some medications that are supposed to slow down the hair growth. Sometimes the medication doesn't work, sometimes it does. Depends on the person. Depends on the person and their chemical. Well, yeah, technically chemical because we are made up of elements, but you you figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you real quick. And when you find what works, it really starts to feel a lot better and a little more womanly, I guess. Um, Moving on, aside from hair growth, gaining weight, gaining weight can turn to insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is where the insulin that your pancreas makes does not get absorbed fully. So what happens is that insulin gets turned into sugar and gets stored in your fat cells. And because you're insulin resistant, it doesn't get absorbed, period. Well, I shouldn't say period. I think a certain percentage of it actually does. But again, depends on the person. So yeah, I have insulin resistance and I was taking Ozempic. Um, the Ozempic worked really well for my insulin resistance. I was dropping weight at a normal rate. It felt good. Felt good. I mean, really felt good to see that my diet was working, that I was making a difference for my body, you know? It felt great. And then I couldn't get it anymore. And one of the sad things about it was is that you when you stop Ozempic, all that weight that you have lost while controlling your insulin and your weight, you gain it all back. Now I'm thankful I haven't gained it all back. Knock on wood. I am thankful about that. So I don't have to cry too much about it. I just gotta figure out a different way. And I think I might have. Um, I feel this is wrong. I feel if you are unable to get pregnant and you know it from an earlier on age and you don't like all of the dysfunctional bleeding and all of the stuff that goes wrong with PCOS that takes up your life and makes it all that more miserable. Hysterectomy. A hysterectomy. Now that I'm over the age of 30, I am going to ask for a hysterectomy. I have mentioned this to some of my family. Not everybody knows, but I plan on having a hysterectomy. I'm infertile. I can't get my birth control back because I don't think they make it anymore or something, and nobody will tell me. They just keep telling me that it's not in stock when I go to the pharmacy. Nobody tells me anything about it. So I can't get the birth control that helps with regulating the emotions. It stopped me from being able to have a friend every month, which is nice. I'm not gonna lie. It was very nice to have 3 years without one. But because I no longer have it, I can't control that and make sure I don't have any dysfunctional bleeding. So now I'm back to square one with problems, and I want a hysterectomy. Now that I'm out of the age range for women to have children in, because you get more complications when you are older and get pregnant. Well, I don't have the capability to take care of a child like that, no matter how much I would want to keep it. Of course, I can't abort. I wouldn't be able to abort. I wouldn't be able to give my child for adoption. I would, I would, I would keep it. I really would. But I don't have a stable life to give that child the fair chance that it would have if I was more stable. Not only that, but now, regardless of how much I want to have a child, I'm looking at the world and how everything is going, and I don't think I could raise a child in that. I wouldn't know what to do, and that's just being honest. I wouldn't know what to do because I've never been in situations like this before. I don't know what uh what the future's gonna be like. I can't guarantee a happy life for my child, a fair chance at school, a fair chance at anything, and I don't want to cheat a child out of that. I thought about adopting. Yes, I thought about adopting. I thought about doing surrogacy. Unfortunately, surrogacy is very expensive, and I do not have money to afford that. And I wouldn't, I wouldn't go into debt just to do that because that's, again, putting a child in a bad situation. And I would rather not do that. I'd rather put their needs ahead of mine because to put mine above theirs would be very selfish. And I wouldn't want to hurt the child, you know, growing up thinking that, oh, mom didn't care enough about my wants or needs to put me first or anything like that. I don't want to do that to the child. I refuse to do that to the child. The surrogacy out of the question. Even though I've had family members offer it. I'm grateful for that. I really am, don't get me wrong. I would have loved to have done it, whatever, because I would have had a child that had my husband's genes. I want his legacy to carry on. But that's not in the cards, and I don't want to set him up with a mess. I don't want to leave him in the possibility of not being able to have a place to live, take care of a child, and all of that. I don't want to do that to him if something were to happen to me. So I'm grateful for the family members that had offered. They have no idea how much that actually meant to me. I cried. Not gonna lie, I cried. I loved it. I loved that they were willing to do something like that for me. It's wonderful to know that you have somebody that loves you like that and will help you. And I appreciate that. But going back to what I said, not financially possible. Adoption. Uh, that that would have probably been the best solution. The only issue, however, is the fact that adoption takes a long time and process, and I would never get approved because I am not financially stable. Like I said before, I'm not in a stable position for a child to grow up with, and I refuse to put them through hell. So that's also out of the question. Although it would have been perfect, but it's not in the card. It's not meant to work out, and that's okay. I have something that is working, and that's two beautiful boy cats who I love just like children that have remarkably different personalities and are very loving. Alucard, I love you, baby, but come on, please. Oh! Oh no. Oh no. Are you okay? Yes, yes. Lay down, sweetheart. Good boy. Good boy. Lay down, sweetheart. Okay. So that's another thing that's part of PCOS. And there's acne, which there's no avoiding that regardless. Teenagers, it's one of those telltale signs of, hmm, you know, because we're teenagers with lots of high emotions and chemical imbalances and stuff that are trying to regulate and create the adult that we are trying to become. I have a little theatrical bone. Don't mind me. I'm more of a ham. But yes, acne. Acne. Damn that acne. Sometimes it can get really bad. Excuse me. Sorry, don't leave me on. Part of who I am, just like the screen is part of the randomness that is me. Um, so yes, I guess inevitably the topic that was chosen was PCOS and what people go through when they find out they have it. So hysterectomy, shitty boys for children, a loving husband, a loving family, trying to regulate chemical imbalances and get back on track, and live my life. That's it for PCOS, guys. I'm pretty sure you're happy now that that's over. And I'm pretty sure me babbling coming to an end is possibly another little thank you, Hail Mary. But I hope, I hope for anybody that watches or, well, not watches until I can figure out how to use this a lot better. I'm hoping, despite some of the stupidity that's in this and what you'll hear and what you'll think, that you'll want to come back for more. And if you come back for more, I would be grateful because then what I can do is I can bring in people to come up here and talk. You know, it won't be just me talking up here. It could be like interviews talking about certain things that are coming out in communities like the gaming community, um, like Helldivers 2 for PS5 and yeah, yeah, it's computer and PS5. Although there is talk that they're hoping it'll be released to Xbox, but that's completely up to the game creator and what they plan on doing for the future of the game. But, you know, interviews and topics about certain games that just came out or that are coming out that has a lot of people interested. I can have more content, more satisfying content, something that's fun to listen to, something that's fun to watch. Just like I was saying in the very beginning, something that'll bring communities together rather than divide them. As together we stand, and if we fall together. I know the saying is something else, but that's my saying for right now because I feel if you can have the good times together, you can also get through the bad times together. It's just how you make the situation and deal with it. Like I'm dealing with this situation now. I I'm this was an icebreaker. That's what I'm gonna call this. This was an icebreaker. So let's begin, shall we? Bye.